Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a polygel with dual forms application. This kit was sent to me by Modelones along with this dehydrator and the primer. I'm going to be using them all today. Now I'm going to show you everything that comes in the kit and then we're going to get started. But I know y'all did peep the time already on how long this video is. Now I left in some parts because I did struggle at some points. I also did watch a lot of polygel videos and I grabbed some tips from them, some stuff that might make it a little bit easier. In the end, the polygel nails came together, but it was a little bit of a struggle getting there, y'all. And I left it in so y'all can see the little bit of a struggle and like how to fix it. Because like I did watch a lot of videos, and unless it was a specific troubleshooting video for polygel, nobody was really showing how, like, if there's a mess up, like how to fix it or something like that. So nobody really showed that. So that's why I left them in, and that's why the video is a little bit longer. But now right now I'm just kind of showing y'all everything that's in the kit. We have the 6 polygels, we have the brush picker tool, we have these dual forms. Now what I do like about these dual forms is I like that they're flat, like straighter, so that I have the opportunity to build my own apex and I don't have my nails curved down like an eagle talon. Like for me, I don't like that 90s curve or the eagle look. I like my nails to be more straight. It's just a personal preference, so I'm glad that this kit comes with the tips that are straighter. These are just little clips to help hold your polygel in the dual form on so you can get the underside and you can make sure the cuticle line is looking okay. Now, I don't generally use these because I just use another finger to hold it, but I mean, it's really up to you. They're there for you to use them or not. So I don't use them because it makes me fumble more. This is their slip solution. I tried it out. I don't really know if I'm a fan or not personally. I use alcohol for my slip solution and I love how it works, but it also deteriorates the polygel depending on your polygel. So I wanted to use the slip solution as to not interfere with any of the issue, like having an issue with the polygel. Also, there's a base coat and a top coat, a 10 ml included in the box as well. And then there is this flash cure lamp. It's a 6-watt lamp, so you just are going to use this for flash curing. You're going to need a bigger lamp to fully cure the nails. So just throwing that out there. You can use this just to kind of set them in place. Now you can put the little legs out or you can hold it and do it. It's really up to you, but you're going to need a larger lamp. Now there's a button to turn it on so it's not motion censored, and you do have to plug it in. The cord is relatively long. Like, I was surprised. I do like me a long cord because them cords that are like 5 inches long just not gonna work on my desk. So I like that it comes with a longer cord. Now I'm gonna go ahead and open all of these up so that we can go ahead and swatch them. I'm obviously not gonna swatch the clear because it's clear. I did not use it in this video, but I do like a clear polygel. I have some fun stuff that I'm gonna do with polygel, but not in this video. I kept this just a plain and simple polygel video. And now I'm just gonna kind of show you the colors, and then we'll get into doing the nails themselves. Now this color is like a pink, like a really light pink. It'd be good. These colors are like good for like a French mani, I guess you could say. And y'all, if y'all ever started doing your nails and just like everything started going really sideways, like I think I dropped every single cap and then it rolled into the polygel that I had on here. I just knew this video was gonna need some work and it was gonna be a difficult one after I dropped this third lid, after I just kept, like, I tumbled that third lid. And then I was just like, please come together. Now this black has got gold sparkles in it, so it is really, really pretty. Like, you can't really see them really good on camera, so I tried to turn my flash on, like pat it down a little bit with some slip solution, and so you could see it. And I even tried to turn my flash on. You see, I stuck my finger in the polygel. It just started to go crazy from the beginning, so I was just like, please go good when I use these forms. So I just tried to turn on the flash to show you, but you couldn't really see that good, so I was just like, you know what, we're just gonna move along, okay? So the next color is a super pretty, just like, there with the top again, excuse my craziness. It's just a super pretty like sparkle. So you can have something that's semi-clear. So if you're still looking for that clear look, you can still have something that's clear, but it has got the most gorgeous like glitter in it. And then this color I was super intrigued by because this color is like a gray, like a charcoal gray. And I haven't really seen that in a polygel. So I was really intrigued, but I wanted to kind of keep it simple, keep it to the point. So I end up using that nude color, the second one, for the nails today because I wanted a nude base. I wanted to keep it simple, keep it just regular, and just do something because this is just a basic polygel and dual forms video. Now I also got this dehydrator and primer. So I've read a lot of reviews. I've talked to a lot of my friends, and a lot of people love this dehydrator and primer set. But this is my first time trying it. Now, I don't have any yay or nay yet because I'm still kind of testing it out. I like to try it on a few different sets just to make sure that I like it before I give a full review. So far, I would say I do like it. The odor is not very strong. It seemed to work really well so far. Retention is great. Dried really fast. I just have to test it more than one time to be able to fully say for that type of product whether I like it or not. So I have to try it with different types of adhering, different types of prep, things like that, so that I can see if it's something that I really do like. So for that, we have to wait for a future video because I will be using it more often and showing you because I have another video coming up soon where I'll be using it. So just stay tuned. So now what I'm doing is I'm sizing out the dual forms. So something that's really important when you're using dual forms is you want your dual forms to be a little bit bigger than your nail. It's because you want to be able to have the room when you put the polygel in so that the polygel will fill up the dual form, but you will still be able to cover your entire nail. So what I like to do is you see me finding the size that fits, and then I'm going up a size just because that's the best way to do it. You just find your size and go up one size for dual forms, or if you're using like a solid glue or something that's really thick inside the tip, if you're not just using a really thin gel glue or nail or air dry glue, just because it will make sure that you have enough room. So you see how it's hanging off my sidewall just a little bit? Also, all of them hang off just a little bit. You don't want to give too much room because then there will be way too much hangover and then it will be too much and then the nail will be too big, which could make the nail pop off early. All right, so next thing, I like to put my forms close to my cuticle but not on them, but my thumb has got a flat line versus the normal curve, so I like to shape my tips when I get them and my dual forms so that they fit my cuticle line nicely so that there's not so much of like a huge gap on the sides. And this dual form was kind of like being a bear and it wasn't wanting to shape really well. Also my cuticle line's really weird on this thumb. It kind of like goes up at an angle on the left side, so I have to keep that into account if I want everything to fit nicely. Because you don't want to put your polygel all the way to your cuticle, because if you get it on the cuticle line itself as the nail grows out, it will be lifting because you will have put it on something that's not the nail. You will have put it on the cuticle. So as the nail grows out, you will either have lifting right away, or you'll have that little ledge that gets caught in your hair type deal if you don't seal it to the nail. So you want to just put it a little bit away from the cuticle line. So you want to make sure that you have a nice match up when you're sizing them. So that's why I left this part in, just because it does help a lot. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry if you hear my kids. They're fighting again, but let's continue on with this part. They're fighting each other, but they'll be fine. Daddy is helping, and he is back there messing with them. So they're just at that age. They're toddlers. They're gonna fight. So now is the time. I cleansed with alcohol already, just because I always do that. And then I am going to be using the dehydrator first. So when it comes to dehydrator and primer, you want to wipe with the cleanser. I usually don't wash my hands, but if I do with Dawn soap, I give it about a good 30 minutes before I go into doing my nails. I will dehydrate my nails. I usually do 2 layers of dehydrator just because I want them really, really dehydrated. And you want to just try to keep it on the nail itself and not really all over your skin, because you don't really want nail products or whatever all over your skin. So just try to keep the products on your nails, y'all. And you see how fast, I have a little break in my middle finger just because I left my nails without anything on them and I slammed my hand on something. Now comes the primer. So you want the dehydrator to fully dehydrate. It takes about a minute. And then you want to use the primer, a very thin layer of primer. And you only want to get the primer on all of the nail. You don't want the primer to be on your skin because the primer is going to be sticky. Now, some people use 2 layers of primer, but sometimes that can cause lifting itself. But I'm only going to use 1 layer of primer, and I'm only going to start with my thumb because I like to personally do 1 nail at a time. I end up doing the other 4 nails together, but I like to do my thumb separate because the thumb is, number 1, going to be my problem finger if I'm going to have one. And number 2, it usually needs to be cured separately so that it can fully cure. It gets cured at a different angle and all the things. Now I'm applying a gel base over the primer. The primer is fully dried, and I am just applying a gel base over top of that primer, and I'm going to fully cure my lamp for 45 seconds. Under this lamp, I use this lamp and I put it under for 60 full seconds, and I just let it be. And it seemed to be cured properly, so I wanted to test that one, and at the end it seemed to hold fine like all the rest of them, and everything was fully cured. Lordy. So then I just moved along, and then I tried to put the slip solution in my little dish, and then I realized, of course there's a topper. So, y'all, there was little things here and there that made me be like, oh my gosh, this video is going to be so bad. But I kept it moving, and we eventually got there in the end, but it took a little minute to get there. So now the consistency of this is not like water. I'd say a little bit thicker than water, but not as thick as like a base coat or something. So I just wet my brush fully, and then I want to just get all the stuff from the factory out of it. I should have just used like alcohol, but I didn't want to put any alcohol in the brush. I just wanted to use what was there. So I did see that putting the nail tip like this on a stand made it easier to hold when you are applying the polygel into the form. It was a lot easier to get it in there. Like, I don't really know. When you're holding the form, it's a lot harder to just hold the sides and not get gel on your skin. And then to put it on your nail with just holding the form. So putting it on the tip was a lot easier. It allowed me to maneuver it just a little bit better. It allowed me to hold it like steadier because it was more sturdy and I didn't have to hold the edges and finagle with it. I was able to turn it and whatever. So if y'all are struggling with holding the dual forms, I totally recommend just putting them on a nail tip stand like this. It helped so much. So all I did was I squeezed out the amount. First I cleaned out the nail form with alcohol because I really like to do that. I just feel like it makes sure that there's no like dust getting trapped in there. And I forgot, if y'all notice any glitter particles or anything in my polygel, yes, they're there because I forgot to clean out my dapping dish and I was messing with painting with glitter polish and stuff. And so it ended up transferring in there. But when I'm doing polygel, I don't really care because it's like, or putting on my tips because they're underneath the color that I'm going to put on top of them. I very rarely leave my nails just like plain polygel or plain tips. So I don't really mind if there's like color in there or whatever. So if it's in there, just move along. I don't really care if it's in there. If you care, so you just got to be more careful. That's all. Sorry, my husband got a phone call and I had to assist with the phone call because we had an appointment that we're scheduling. So now I just got the shape that I wanted, and I just put it on the nail, and I don't want to put a lot of pressure because it will make it not fit right. It'll make it too thin. So you just want to put light pressure, right? So I've done this a couple of times before, but every time I've tried, it went like super wrong. So I was already like nervous doing this, but I looked up so many videos from so many people. I can't even tell you the names of them because I was just like, y'all, I have got to know how to do this. It seems super easy on all those quick little videos. And the last time I did it, it was super easy. So now I do think personally that glitter polygels are a lot easier to work with than solids because number one, they will hide the thinness Number two, they're a little bit thicker, so they're a little bit easier to use. And I also like to do the lazy girl or femme beauty method or whatever, where you put the polygel underneath of the tip and you leave the tip attached. That is my favorite way to use polygel, or put the polygel on top of a tip. I don't like to use dual forms, but I have been wanting to try new things this year, and y'all, I want to show y'all that you do not have to be scared to try new things, and there's always a way to fix it, right? So we got where we wanted, and I got the form on, and y'all look at these sides. This side over here, I was so upset because right at the free edge, I noticed that there is like a cut or like a divot or a dent or whatever you want to call it. And I was just like so hurt by that. I hurt my own feelings. I was so mad at myself. But it's like, you have to fix it right there, because that is like called a break point, which is where your apex usually is really strong. So what I was gonna do now, I just made the initial layer very thin because I wanted to be able to put another layer on top. So now is what I would be doing if I put a tip on already, and then I just put a layer of polygel on top of that tip just to give it a little bit of extra strength, which I find to be very easy. But when you're shaping the polygel, it can be a little bit tricky, and you don't really want to get the polygel on your skin, but like, look at that spot right there. That is a break point, and if I do not fix that, the nails will not last. So if you have something right there on a crucial spot of the nail, if you do not fix it, it will break. Like, maybe you're a unicorn and you're not hard on your nails, but I have 4 kids, and my nails just need to be strong and need to be able to tackle that. 2 of my 4 kids are toddlers, and they still require diaper changes and hair washes, and I have to bathe them still. So it's a lot of work, and all the laundry and dishes. I don't know if any of y'all have 4 kids, but everything that comes along with having that many kids and them being so young, it's a lot of work. So my nails, I like to wear them pretty decent. Like, I like to wear longer nails, but they need to be able to withstand my day of having all those kids, because I can't stop just being a mom just because I have nails, or not wear nails just because I'm a mom. So I've learned what I need to do to make my nails last. I'm in water a lot, especially in the summer. So I've found ways that work for me. And I know that with that little dent on the side right there, with that little cut, whatever you want to call it, I don't even know what it's called, but with that on the side right there, I knew that it was not going to last. So I put that other layer, and I went ahead and cured it in that lamp, and then I put it in my bigger lamp for about 30 seconds. Now I'm just going to wipe off the tacky layer. I'm going to do a little bit of filing on the side just so that I can kind of clean it up a little bit, clean up the shape just a small bit, and then just kind of see where I'm at with that little issue. So I just used the lower grit side. I had another file. I don't like to open 100 files, so I had another Modelones file, the same file. So I just wanted to use one that I had used a couple of times before. That's why it looks worn already. Your file will be new, but I just used one that I already had open because I don't like to open a ton of files. So now I'm going to take this small mandrel bit that I raved about before. If y'all don't have it, y'all need to get that small mandrel bit. I'm just saying, if y'all are struggling with cuticle work or whatever, get this little mandrel bit. You're gonna love it, I promise. All right, now the grit on this sanding band is 150. I like to use 150 because it's just like a perfect grit for me to be doing my cuticle line. Now I just shaped up the edges, I shaped up the cuticle line just a little bit, and now I'm gonna check out how bad this little spot is and how much more I really have to fix. Now, I'm not really a fan of a square nail, so I do make them like a tapered square, and that helped a little bit, but that spot is just like, it needs to be fixed. So I can't fix it on top, so I tried one more time to try to fix it on top, just that spot right there, but then I'm like, okay, so what if I try to fix it underneath? This thumb was like the hardest point for me, which is why I left it in, because I'm kind of showing y'all what my thought process was for how to fix that spot, and in the end, I did fix it. It's just patience, y'all. When it comes to doing your nails, even if you just do one nail and then take a break for a minute and come back, like sometimes it does take that. Like sometimes I'm only wearing one hand of nails because it takes me a minute. Or sometimes I'm only wearing one nail on one hand and then I have stuff I have to do. But be patient. don't get frustrated, because the more frustrated that you get, the more difficult the task is going to seemingly become. And please try to not get the product on your skin, because you don't want to have a gel allergy if you like to use polygel, because then you will not be able to use it no more. All right, so now I'm just working on this thumb. Eventually I get the thumb. I go off camera because I really needed to see what I was doing. So I'm sorry about that. I tried to stay in camera as best as I could for y'all. But eventually I do get the thumb where I'm happy with it, where it's okay and it's workable. And then I'm going to put stuff on top of it, so it will be fine. But yeah, 12 hours later, I eventually got the nail fixed. I got the nail shaped, filed, buffed, all the things. So look at that. We fixed the thumb. So now it is time to move on to the rest of the nails. So I just generally just shaped it just a little bit. I end up doing a little bit more of like a tapered square coffin shape, but I just wanted to show y'all that I did finish the thumb. Right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, before I do anything to my nails, before I put any base gel or anything on them, I'm going to put the polygel, and I'm going to just put it in all of the forms. I did find that somebody said that that was a lot faster, was prepping the polygel on the nail tip stand in the forms before you do anything else to your nails, as to not worry about bumping them or anything like that. So right now I just have them dehydrated, and that's it. And I'm going to put all the polygel and get it how I want it in all of the forms, lay it out really nicely in there. And then I'm going to put the dehydrator on my nails. I'm going to do the primer, and then I'm going to apply the base coat. And after that, I'm going to put the forms on my nails. That stand wasn't working out, so I switched stands because it was being crazy. But after that, I'm going to put the forms on my nails, and I'm going to let y'all just watch that process, because as y'all saw me do with the thumb, I'm going to be doing the same thing. And then after I get them all cured, you're going to notice the issue with the pinky. Just a spoiler alert. So I'm going to show you how I fix the issue with the pinky, and then I'm going to show you how I file, how I shape, kind of what I do. But I show everything in the video, so I'm just going to not talk anymore because it's been 20 minutes of me talking. But I'm going to let y'all watch, and I will come back near the end for some final thoughts. I'm just gonna go ahead and do a quick file shape buff, get all the nails where I want them to be, and look at that, y'all. We got there in the end. Now I'm just gonna do a quick cleanse with alcohol. I'm gonna do a quick base coat and top coat, and then the nails will be all finished and ready to go. They have a decent apex on them. They have a decent shape. They have a decent length. Everything is looking good. Now I told y'all we would get there in the end. So now I'm just gonna add a little bit of cuticle oil on there because that's the only thing that it really needs. I always finish off all my manis with cuticle oil just because that is like a super important part of doing your nails, is taking care of them at the end. And then rub it in just a little bit. But all in all, the polygel was super easy to work with. I did enjoy it. Polygel literally just takes practice. So if you want to do something and you want to do it really well, you're just gonna have to practice. But thank you so much, Model Ones, for sending this kit over for me to try. I will be doing another video with a different technique that I have learned, and I will be showing y'all some other colors and some other techniques and things. So if you like this kind of content, go ahead and subscribe, turn your notifications on, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys.